My friends, there comes a time in every person's life when they look around and realize something isn't right. Something's missing. Maybe you're not where you hoped you'd be. Maybe the dream you once held close feels far away now. Maybe you wake up each day and think, there has to be more than this. And in that quiet moment of truth, you have two choices. You can wait or you can move. You can wait for someone to rescue you, for luck to find you, for the perfect time to appear. Or you can take action, because no matter who you are or where you start, nothing changes until you do. See, action is the heartbeat of progress. It's the fire that turns ideas into results. It's what separates the people who wish from the people who win. But here's what I've seen too many people are waiting for motivation, waiting for signs, waiting for the stars to align. They tell themselves, when I feel ready, I'll start. But the truth is, you'll never feel ready. Nobody ever does. The people who change their lives aren't the ones who wait for perfect conditions. They're the ones who start anyway. They act despite the fear. They move despite the doubt. Because if you want change, you can't just think about it. You can't just dream about it. You can't just talk about it. You have to act on it. Change isn't a miracle. It's a process, and that process begins the moment you move. Talk doesn't build a future. Action does. You can write down every goal you have. You can read every motivational quote on the planet. But if you don't act, if you don't take that first small step, your dream will stay just that, a dream. And I know what some of you are thinking, but what if I fail? And my answer is, what if you succeed? What if the thing you've been afraid to start becomes the very thing that changes your life? You'll never know until you try. Every person who's ever done something great started where you are right now, uncertain, nervous, unsure if they could pull it off. But they took the step anyway. They understood that the first step is never the hardest because it's big, it's hard because it's new. Action breaks the spell of fear. The moment you move, the fear begins to lose its power. You can't think your way into courage, you act your way into it. You see, fear doesn't disappear before you start. It disappears after you start. Because once you take action, your brain says, we're doing this. And something changes inside you. You stop being a thinker and become a doer. That's the turning point when you stop waiting for permission and start building your own momentum. And the moment you do, everything shifts. Your confidence grows. Your energy rises. Doors begin to open. Because the universe doesn't respond to thoughts, it responds to movement. If you sit still, nothing happens. But when you move, opportunities move toward you. Now I know sometimes the journey feels long. Sometimes it feels like your efforts aren't paying off. You take action for weeks, maybe months, and you wonder, is this even working? But hear me, change takes time. The seed you plant today doesn't bloom tomorrow, but that doesn't mean it's not growing. Every small action counts. Every step matters. Consistency beats intensity every time. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing something every day, because action builds momentum and momentum builds miracles. Look back at history. Every great movement, every revolution, every innovation started with someone deciding to act. Not when it was easy, not when it was convenient, but when it mattered. The ones who wait for the perfect moment never see it. The ones who act create it. So don't wait for motivation, act, and motivation will follow. Don't wait for the opportunity, act, and opportunity will appear. Because the difference between a dreamer and an achiever is simple. Action. Now, let me tell you something real. The road won't be smooth. You will face resistance. You will face setbacks. You will face days when it feels like nothing's working. And that's where most people stop, but not you. Because you understand something deeper, that failure isn't the end. It's part of the journey. Failure isn't a wall. It's a lesson. It's not a reason to quit. It's a reason to grow. Every failure refines your path. Every mistake sharpens your skill. Every obstacle strengthens your spirit. You cannot fail if you refuse to stop acting. Because as long as you're taking action, you're learning. As long as you're learning, you're growing. And as long as you're growing, you're winning. That's the power of persistence, the courage to keep acting even when you don't see results yet. Every day you show up, you're telling the world, I'm serious about my dream. And when you do that, life starts to respond. The right people show up. The right ideas appear. The right opportunities align. Because consistent action turns invisible progress into visible success. But here's something most people forget: action doesn't just change your results, it changes you. It changes how you see yourself. It changes what you believe you can do. It builds strength, resilience, confidence. You start to realize that you were never waiting for the right time, you were waiting for the right version of yourself. And that version appears when you act. So don't underestimate the power of starting small. A single decision can change a life. A single step can start a journey. You don't need to have it all figured out, you just need to move. Because clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. Action reveals what works and what doesn't. It shows you where to go next. It's like driving at night. You can't see the whole road, but as you move forward, the path keeps revealing itself. So move, even if you're scared, even if you're unsure, even if you don't feel ready, because standing still is the only real failure. And remember this: no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to live your dream for you. This is your story to write, your mountain to climb, your life to change. So take ownership. Take responsibility. Stop waiting for change, be the change. You have everything you need to start. The strength is inside you. The potential is within you. The power is already yours. The question isn't whether you can. The question is whether you will, and that's a choice. Every morning when you wake up, you make that choice again. Will I act or will I wait? Will I build or will I wish? And those choices, day after day, become your life. If you choose action, your life will change. Maybe not overnight, but surely, steadily, powerfully. Because nothing can stop a person who refuses to stop moving. They said you can't, prove them wrong. They said it's too late, start anyway. They said you're not ready, show them readiness is overrated. You were made to move mountains. You were built to make impact. You were born to turn action into change. And when you do, when you decide right now to stop waiting and start acting, you'll look back one day and realize that this moment was the turning point. The day you stopped hoping and started doing. The day you stopped wishing and started working. The day you took control of your future. And that's the day everything began to change. Because change doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who act. So don't talk about it, be about it. Don't dream about it, move toward it. Don't wish for it, work for it. Because work works, effort matters, action transforms, and when you commit to taking action every single day, you become unstoppable. The world moves for those who move for themselves, and years from now, when you stand in the light of your success, you'll smile knowing that it wasn't luck, it wasn't fate, it was you. You made it happen through action. So wherever you are today, whatever you're facing, whatever you're dreaming, start. Take the step, make the call, write the plan, begin the journey, because the first step is not the end, it's the beginning of everything. And one day, the story of your life will be told, and it won't be a story of waiting. It will be a story of courage, of persistence, of action. A story of how you refused to stand still while your dream waited for you. So move, take action, change your life, because no one else can do it for you. And once you begin, once you take that first bold, imperfect, unstoppable step, you'll never look back. That's where the power is. That's where change begins, not tomorrow, not someday, but today, the day you decide to act.